The Midwest, home sweet home in good old Indiana, a place of small towns, cozy families gathered together, and fields of corn and rustic woods. But, like any town, there is a dark underbelly that often goes unnoted. We are part of that darkness. We lurk in the shadows to bring you the best in horror, metal, and stories of the grotesque. This is Blood in the Cornfields.
All right, welcome in cellar dwellers. As always, I am Mark.
I'm Ivy.
And we are Blood in the Cornfields. We are coming at you with a special, we've done before episode.
Guest.
Yes.
You
just jumped right to the guest. I'm talking about the episode. You just jumped right to the guest.
Fine,
That's okay.
fine.
It's okay, woman.
It's important.
It's your world. We live in it.
Shut up.
That was not a clap for the record.
No.
That was officially a smack.
But it'll help Luke get the audio and
you gotta sync it. You gotta sync it. Well, what Ivy was alluding to is we do have a special guest. We actually are on a good location.
Yes.
You're more professional, so why don't you just explain it, ma'am?
Fuck, okay. So we're at the Fold in Goshen. We're at the after party at the Riverbend Film Festival. If you have not been following our social medias, we've been blasting the Riverbend Film Festival forever.
Yes.
Starting with Tim Richardson and Zoe Zozak, which unfortunately could not make it here today. But we have Stephen Susco.
Yes.
Hello.
The Stephen Susco, okay?
Not that cheap knockoff version you all were expecting us to pull out.
This is the man that wrote The Grudge that still haunts my nightmares to this day.
Yes.
The Grudge 2. You also had a hand in the Texas Chainsaw
The 3D,
Massacre.
right?
Yeah, little tiny hand, kind of a pinky, but yeah.
Kind of like me. I have baby hands.
Yeah. I think we have similar.
Look. No, dude. I'm telling you, you got to hold my Whopper, dude. My hands are so tiny, you have to hold my Whopper. I'm not kidding.
So I had his size hand in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And you also did Hellfest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. So I am a sucker for anything carnival, clowns, whatever.
Oh man, yeah.
Yes, I like that one a lot.
It.
So that's awesome. I swear to God, you own it. I know,
dude.
We
Where
own it.
I'm lost without my CLZ.
I worked at a haunted farm throughout my teenage years in Pennsylvania, and it was like my first encounter with how awesome it is to try to scare people.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's Hellfest. Yeah, one of the places Hellfest came from was when Grudge 2 premiered. They had a premiere at Knott's Berry Farm, and they did like a Grudge house.
Oh shit!
But the coolest thing was that I went with one of my agents, and she's a diehard horror fan, but has a deep-seated fear of clowns. Deep-seated.
Yes.
Sweet.
And
it's the best kind.
She made the mistake of revealing that very overtly with the first clown who showed up. The clown very wisely immediately went, I got you.
Yeah.
Followed her through the entire park, through the Grudge house, through the Saw house, through every friggin' house, through Eli Roth's house. And then during the movie, like the premiere, I look over halfway through and the clown is standing like against the wall, just staring at her, going like this. Like she had to leave the premiere.
I love that. I do that shit downtown.
Yes,
I do that shit
you do.
downtown.
You're good
I
at
wear
it.
masks downtown and just creep in windows.
Yeah, close to October, he will be around on First Friday, just creeping around.
Yes.
It's so good.
I do.
You do it during Christmas though too.
Yeah. You never
He's
know.
the Krampus.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Gracefully tripping over rocks, but not falling.
Yeah, that was amazing.
There's nothing more fun. Nothing more fun.
Yes.
But,
get back on.
Yeah.
Get back on track.
Collective clap. 3, 2, 1.
So
We're in sync.
We mentioned a couple things, and we tried to introduce, but why don't you take it away and let the audience know a little bit about you? Anything you want to tell, anything you want to share, your favorite works, whatever.
Oh, okay. Well,
give your own introduction.
We are here in an alley off Main Street, Goshen, Indiana, Riverbend Film Festival.
That's how I like it.
Which is one of my favorite film festivals. I've been involved with this fest for over 20 years, I think now.
Awesome.
It is an amazing fest. There's all kinds of festivals all over the world. There's killer genre festivals. I was just at Popcorn Frights in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, which is like one of my favorites. But what I love about Riverbend is it's a real community thing. It's really filmmakers, actors, just the area companies here subsidize this festival, and it's just this incredible opportunity to watch a whole bunch of short films for students, young filmmakers, to interface with Academy Award winning filmmakers. There's a Belgian filmmaker who showed an incredible film.
Tom.
Yes,
Yeah,
Tom,
we just met
oh
him.
man,
Yeah.
Hearts of Stone is an astonishing short film.
Beautiful.
And so you have I was just watching like a local actor and some local filmmakers just chat with this guy who has an Academy Award and who made this short film with Noomi Rapace. And I'm like, that's what Riverbend is all about.
Yeah.
Like all the walls that a lot of festivals have just come down. And it's just a
Absolutely.
great place for people to meet and then develop opportunities with each other.
Yeah, it's great. And
That's why we're here.
this was my first time attending, and I loved that we had college kids
Yeah.
Oh my
producing
God.
stuff that I'm like, holy shit, that's
They were
good.
so
That's really good.
Yeah.
The one with the
Steve
telling the
Frito.
story.
Yeah.
Well, Steve did a great job.
Okay.
The one that I was particularly kind of touched by was like the one with the older gentleman that took in the girl that was the runaway. I was like,
Yes.
holy
Man.
shit, like this is actually legit.
That was
like
beautiful.
He's a great
emotional.
filmmaker.
And this
Silas
was-
Emmanuel, I think is the name
Yeah,
of the
I was
filmmaker.
like,
Yeah.
I was blown away. But you have college kids, and then you have people that have won Academy Awards, different awards, and people that have done big name films to medium size to kids. And I think that's so fucking cool.
It's great, isn't
That
it?
is so
and
cool.
here we are. This is the after party, and we're just in the alley having pizza, drinking beers,
Yeah.
talking about how great the festival was. I was here with a movie that I made a couple years ago called Test Screening, which we're just trying to sell right now.
Oh my God.
And we're excited to get it to the world. It was a partnership. It was a filmmaker we wanted to work with for a while named Clark Baker.
Yeah.
It was his first feature film.
Oh my
and
God.
I think he knocked a home run.
Oh,
out of it.
absolutely. And so, I mean, that kind of
Yeah.
brings us to the main topic at hand
Absolutely.
That was
you're
totally
good.
unplanned.
You segued yourself.
You did
I
a
was
good
just
segue.
talking.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So, go
So,
ahead.
I think what a good segue would be is just tell us a little bit. I know you said it at the awards ceremony, and question and answer, but tell us a little bit about how test screening came about. Because if I were to explain this to somebody, I would call this is society, but mixed with satanic panic elements
and it's,
in the best way.
and I'll give you the most off the wall one that it popped in my head. I had visions of E.T. in this.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
That thing that Reels was in the gym, that was
And
like
even
100%
even
easy.
when the
Yeah.
lights are shining through the door and the children are behind the door locked, it gave me the E.T. vibes
Yeah.
when they're coming for E.T. at the end. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
we wanted it to feel like, we didn't want it to necessarily look like an 80s movie. We wanted it to feel like an 80s
Oh, yeah.
movie. So
Oh,
we filmed it with
100%.
anamorphic lenses. And the Arri 35 that year upgraded their sensor for the first time in like 8 years. And its sensitivity went through the roof. So we were able to shoot with like low light and really get awesome lens characteristics out of those anamorphic lenses. But I mean, basically it was, Clark and I had been trying to make another movie for about 10 years. There was a short film that he made in college called Vessel.
Ooh.
And I set it up at Paramount 11 years ago, and it was going to be his directorial debut. And Paramount didn't make it. And then over the years, we had other companies that came in and tried to buy it from Paramount. Paramount wouldn't let it happen. And then finally, I pulled together some equity with Clark and went to Paramount and said, just let us make this movie. We'll bring it back to you. And then if you want to distribute it, cheers. If not, then we can take it elsewhere. And they were like, okay, that doesn't cost us anything. That sounds great. So we said, great. So we built the LLC. We established the investment. We filed with the SEC. We did like all the stuff. And then went back to Paramount and said, okay, rights transfer. And in the time since we had the previous conversation, a whole bunch of people left Paramount. A whole bunch of new people come into the legal department, and they were like, "Who are you, and why are you calling?"
Oh,
and
shit.
we basically found ourselves unable to get the rights to do the film that we've been trying to do for 11 years. But fortunately, Clark and I had talked about other things over the years, and there were sort of two vectors that became test screening. The first thing we talked about was our shared loves, which is basically like John Carpenter, David Cronenberg, Steven Spielberg, like movies that really inspired us when we were kids.
Yeah.
But always being like, could you do all three in one movie? Like, is that even remotely possible? Could you have a movie that like kind of starts Spielbergian and then kind of turns into Carpenter and then just like plunges into Cronenberg?
Yeah.
And then the other conversation we had was just a lot of like late nights kind of bemoaning the state of the world and looking at what was happening to rights,
Oh, wow.
and saying like, man, I had the movie sort of loosely based on some people that I knew in the 80s.
That's awesome.
Who were gay and weren't allowed to be, they weren't allowed to be gay. And we're like 50 years out or whatever. And we're like still kind of fighting some of the same battles. And it's really bizarre.
Mhm.
So it was kind of an attempt to like take our interest in the people that inspired us, but then also kind of, talk about today through a temporal lens, through, the moment when I was a kid falling in love with movies and kind of meeting people for the first time who just couldn't be who they were.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh,
That
absolutely.
was the origin of the movie.
And let's kind of talk about that a little bit, like the cast that you got.
Oh yes,
man.
Who the hell are these people?
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Reacher. I love
Yeah,
Reacher, so
Simon.
I recognized them, and I was like,
Yes.
oh shit.
Oh,
But
man. Yeah.
like everyone else, there were a couple actors in there where I'm like intrigued my interest because I'm like, I feel like I've seen you,
Yeah.
but I could not put my finger on it other than the kid from Reacher.
Yeah.
Well, you probably saw Sean Bridgers from Deadwood and a whole bunch of other things. Amy
Okay.
Hargraves is just incredibly accomplished. That was Penny's mom and dad.
Okay.
Alex Hurt, who played Simon's dad, is just an astonishing actor. We're making a movie together. He's William Hurt's son.
Okay.
Oh,
And
that's
he's,
awesome.
I mean, you've seen
That-
him in a lot of
I
genre
have, yeah,
material.
yeah.
He's really incredible. Just one of the most instinctive actors I've ever worked with, I think. James Urbaniak, who does a lot of voiceovers. He was the guy at the end. He was the
We thought we recognized him. Yeah.
We both were like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we know
that
that
guy
voice.
with
Yeah.
the mole, like the 2 moles. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, just an amazing human being, amazing actor. So yeah, we were really fortunate to be able to work with 4 such accomplished actors. But the challenge of the film was that the 4 people who were going to carry the primary roles had to be young,
Mhm.
and that's pretty risky with a movie because young actors,
Yeah.
like you never were going to get. And that, I mean, we were so blessed to find
Oh
the
my
people we
God.
found.
Yeah.
Johnny Berchtold, who walked from our set onto Reacher. We were barely able to make a deal to get him with Amazon. They were like, we had him riding the motorcycle in the movie, and they're like, he cannot set foot on a motorcycle.
And that's what I was
They wouldn't
wondering
let him
because he
roller
just had his
skate.
helmet
Yeah.
there, and
Yep.
like he never puts it on.
And
he
he's
never
wearing
does
the roller
anything.
skates.
Yeah,
he's wearing
even
roller
out
skates.
in the ring.
It was crazy. And what was so sad was that like Amazon really wanted, they really wanted to work with us, but they were like, he cannot do anything except walk. He can't jump. He can't ski. He can't
Oh
skip.
my
He can't be
God,
happy.
It sounds like
you
a
know.
protective mom.
He can't sit in a recliner. God forbid he dance. But it was so sad because like the first day Johnny showed up on set, like we recognized each other, hugged, and he's like, first thing he said was, "Oh my God, I haven't roller skated in so long, and I'm so fucking psyched." And I was like, "Oh, Johnny,
Dude.
oh,
Johnny,
man,
I gotta
I'm
break
so
your heart
sorry."
right now.
And he looked so crestfallen, and then he was like, "But at least I can ride a motorcycle." And I was
Well,
like,
You
Wait,
Dude, I'm
basically
so
get
sorry.
to talk, and that's it. You get to breathe and move
"He
a
is
little.
incredible." He did, what's the film that he did? It was a 2-hander.
was it a Hulu thing?
Johnny, he did a film that was on Hulu, and he basically gets like, he witnesses a shooting and then goes along for a ride with this guy, and I'm so embarrassed I can't remember the name of this, but and then he
We'll
went and
look that up.
crushed it on Reacher.
Yeah, because
You know?
he was playing the
Yeah.
boss's son, or well, not quite the boss, but one of the leader's
Yeah.
son, and then Reacher's kind of the relationship they developed through it. It's almost like a protector
Yeah.
type scenario, and he does a good job, and then his character evolves towards the end and becomes a little bit tougher,
Yeah.
and
The
that's
Passenger.
the
Yes,
Passenger.
with Kyle
On
Gallner.
Hulu.
And Kyle was in one of my movies back in 2005.
Really?
He was in a movie made called Red with Brian Cox, which is this like small little drama
Okay.
based on a Jack Ketchum novel. if you're a
I've
fan.
actually heard of that one. It's not the red one with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, all
I
the
know,
big- yeah,
but
no.
No,
yeah,
it's really
yeah.
funny because it's about a guy whose dog gets killed and he sets out to get justice. And we're like, if only he'd grabbed a gun, we would have
Yes.
created the next big franchise.
John
just
Wick,
kidding.
man.
John Wick.
Yes. But
It's in your grasp.
But yeah, Johnny Berchtold is just a sweet dude, incredibly talented. Rain Spencer, who played Mia, she was in The Summer I Turned Pretty.
That-
She also, oh my gosh, she is
Yeah.
extraordinary. And
Yeah.
she was in her first feature film. She won Best Actress
I'm not surprised.
at
yeah, she's so good.
Tribeca, I think.
Shit.
She's unbelievable. She's an unbelievable.
Yeah,
actress.
I mean, the cast like that. I mean, they carry the movie really, really well, because I feel like if they didn't, it becomes a little bit riskier to become a little hokey,
100%.
a little,
Yeah.
like a little bit more transparent.
It was really risky.
Yeah, absolutely. And the gentleman, I'm horrible with names, but the kid that worked at the movie
Oh
theaters.
my god, I love him.
Okay,
Man,
let
he
me take a
did
moment and talk about Drew Scheid.
Please
Please
do.
do. Please
Please
do.
do.
Drew Scheid is one of my favorite human beings ever. I mean, people recognize him. In fact, we went the night before filming. There was a local theater that was showing John Carpenter's They Live.
Mm.
And this movie's a little bit inspired by They Live. You might have
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
So we're like, we're all going. And the actors were like, oh yeah, most of them hadn't seen They Live.
Oh, shit.
And he like barely set a foot in the theater, and 5 people recognized him from Halloween. because he had a killer death scene in Halloween. He was in Stranger Things.
I remembered that. That's what I thought he looked familiar
I was like,
from.
That kid.
He walked from our set onto Clint Eastwood's set for juror number 2.
Oh my god.
He is so talented. He's got the biggest heart. He was the first actor we saw, and we were like, wow, that's it right there.
Yeah.
He's real. He's incredible. And then there's Chloe Curran, who played Penny.
She was so cute. Oh my god. She's
when they kissed, I
was like, oh my god, I was rooting for them. I know this is not supposed to be spoilers, but goddamn, I was like, kiss,
sorry. Shit piss. I always do the spoilers. Damn it. My bad, everyone.
Chloe she's luminous. I don't know how else to describe her.
She's so beautiful. She reminds me of Mia Farrow.
Yes.
With that haircut,
right?
Because it's like it's 82, so it's like in the 70s, and oh my god, those set pieces that you got. Sorry, I know I'm going on a tangent.
Yeah. No, she is Mia Farrow. Like a lot of people were like, oh my god, but also just because of the delicacy and the nuance of her performance. I mean, she's like one big role away from being a superstar.
Yeah, she carried like, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to say bye, guys.
Oh, are you off?
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm so glad we got a chance to chat.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Did you meet this filmmakers in Chicago?
I met Adam.
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. And listen.
Penny, I know that you want to escape just as bad as I do.
They're coming.
Who? Who's coming?
Hollywood.
Nobody knows what kind of movie it is. Real says they're always secretive.
Which means they have something to hide. It's Star Wars Part 3, Revenge of the Jedi.
They're filming that still.
We're gonna know for sure come Wednesday at 7.
I have to show you something. You have to see to understand.
Did something happen last night? What's wrong, Mommy?
The world changes around us so very quickly. And believe me, you have no idea what's coming.
So tell me, what's coming?
It's like.
Also, if you need any other drinks or anything like that,
yeah, I don't
it's
want to
on
like
us.
chew into the microphone.
So
anyway, we're done.
Yeah. So I like movies.
Are we still recording? Okay, so I just have to say, one of the coolest things that happened tonight was that after the movie, Chloe Curran's parents were there.
Oh, really?
I had no idea.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it was so lovely because I haven't really seen Chloe since we filmed, and she's such an incredible talent. And
that's so cool.
One of the things that's so great about her, and one of the reasons I think her performance is so pitch perfect, is that they support her. And because we would talk on the set, and a lot of actors struggle with that, especially younger actors, because it's hard to understand the arts, and her parents like have her back.
That's cool.
And it shows in her talent, and it shows in the movie. So it was really cool to meet them.
That's awesome.
Oh my god,
that's
so cool.
Don't be getting emotional.
No,
I'll wipe your tears with your.
I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't come up before like I had to answer questions. That would have been a wreck.
Oh, that's so cool.
A little bit of a softie.
Yeah,
all right.
Your casting is just like pitch perfect.
Yeah.
Like this movie, like I said, I don't want to give too much away, but like, man, if I could see this movie like done years ago, I could see you having as the gentleman behind the film. was his name again? I'm sorry.
Luther,
Luther, yes.
The
kid?
old guy who worked in the
No, the
projectionist.
kid.
Oh,
The kid.
Reels.
Reels.
Drew
Yeah.
Scheid, yeah.
Reels.
Mhm.
So I could see him being played as like T.J. Miller.
Mm.
I could see him in that role.
A younger
So
T.J.
good.
Miller. That's hilarious.
And
that's funny.
like even with like Mia, we could see Mia Goth.
I
in
thought
that
she
role.
looked like her.
She looked so much like
The
her.
scene
Yeah.
after they're,
Yeah, I totally see that.
I kind of give it away, after they're sitting on the like swing or whatever, and she leaves, or I can't remember if she leaves or comes in, but she's in the outfit and she twirls. I thought she looked just like Mia Goth.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I can see that.
So it just was.
Rain extraordinary. I mean, but you know what I mean? Like when you have 4 young actors who have to kind of carry those roles off, and the movie's really hanging on them. It's not hanging on the adults, it's hanging on the kids. We were so fortunate to get that.
And you also had such a good like dynamic between the kids and the adults, because that's something that like, and I know you kind of compared it one time when we talked, like it was like Spielberg and then it switched to like Cronenberg, real quick. But like you did a good job at like balancing like the adult situations with the kids situations. And I think you even mentioned this during your question and answer set, where it was like, you grow up into this kid that lived in this time period, but then you also see the adult side of things. And like as an adult watching this movie, you can relate to the kid side, but also relate to the adult side really well.
That's nice to hear. To hear. Yeah, that was kind of, that was important to us from, I guess you could say, like a thematic level, because one of the things that we kind of always talked about, Clark and I, was about how the people that kind of want to drive everyone apart, they use institutions, they use culture, they use faith, they use all sorts of avenues where people put a lot of trust in, and then they kind of whisper in the ear and create division. So it was kind of important to us to have like, the idea that her dad's a preacher, but when he sees her kiss a girl, his immediate instinct is to like see if there's a loophole in the Bible that says what she's doing is not a sin. Right?
Yeah.
Like he's not just a monolithic bad guy. In fact, he's really loves her and really cares about her.
Caring, and that was like one of the things I whispered over to my, because backstory, I have a really bad childhood with very religious parents, so that's why I look the way I do.
Which I was like laughing. I'm laughing the whole time because I know what you're thinking.
Right? And so I'm like, but this guy, like this dad, genuinely cares about this young lady, and you could tell that, like, just the actor you got for him was spot on. Like, you can tell he cares. Like, he is not there to just Bible thumper over the head. He's there to just, okay, I don't understand what's going on, but I love you and I want to help you, because he thinks something's wrong. He's just being, like, as a parent myself, he's just being this kind, caring, compassionate parent that he thinks he needs to adjust his behavior, but it's like, dude, chill the fuck out. It's fine.
Yeah.
One of the good examples of that, I think, is the flip on the light scene.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's waiting, and I thought that the conversation was going to go a direction that it didn't
bad.
go.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that kind of represents like what you were talking about.
100%.
It's nice to hear. Yeah, I mean, I think it reflects a certain reality, in that humans are imperfect. We're not all equipped with the language that sometimes would be the best language, or the impulses that would be the best impulses. And I think, if you sat people down who didn't know anything about each other, and maybe on opposite sides of a blind so they can't see each other.
Yeah.
And you started talking about politics, you started talking about society. How do you feel about this? Most people are going to be aligned on most things. It's very odd to live in a culture where certain things create a freaking war to the point where people say they're 100% wrong, don't listen to them, don't trust them, instead of saying, open your brain, listen to people you disagree with. The answer is always like somewhere in the middle, and maybe you can warm a heart, maybe you can change a mind, maybe you can pull someone over. And there's a frustration in that, because I feel like we live in the kind of the opposite world of that right now. I feel like now we're just kind of, and I feel like there's exploitation there. I feel like people take good people and then pull the bad stuff out of them and make that front facing, instead of saying, like, find the best side of you. Like, if you know that you're right, be patient, because you will win them over. Just be patient. Don't like pull out a hammer, or like, don't write them out of your life. Like,
absolutely.
You're right. So like, take your time.
Yeah. And I think it's so much more difficult to judge somebody and to hate somebody and create, stress
100%.
and chaos and tension, rather than just like, I always tell people, the older I get, I'm like, fuck, I'm a dirty old hippie. Like, I just, like, I don't want wars. I want everyone to love each other and respect each other, and I don't want division.
Yeah.
I don't want the government or religion or anything to create a divide between humanity and put us on a left and a right side or a up and a down side, whatever you want to label it. Like, I want everyone to be accepting of everyone
100%.
else, because you never know what the fuck someone's going through. You
100%.
never know.
Yeah.
And
hate accomplishes absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
It accomplishes nothing.
yeah,
And
there's too much
doesn't
of it. Holy shit, there's too much.
There really is, but I think it's also because it's just we're easy prey. Humans are easy prey. Like our darker impulses are easy to activate. Envy is really easy to activate. Hatred, alienation, very easy things to activate.
And that's throughout this film. It's so
That's good to hear.
good. Yes, and you can get that feel for it. And may I ask, where did you get your inspiration? Oh, I know we talked about Spielberg, we talked about John Carpenter, and we talked about Cronenberg. But like, tell me a little bit more about like where this love came about. Like, how did this story come about?
Well, it came about through conversations with Clark. Just as a filmmaker that I admire his work and wanted to find a way to make a movie with, and things that we were both really interested in. Like a lot of people, we talk a lot, have over some beers, we agree on some things, we wildly disagree on other things. But the thing we had in common was a frustration with the way people were handling those disagreements, and the way that the fact that we were living in a time that was eerily reminiscent of 40 years ago, and like we've come a long way, but we've got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Right. And I think there's a general frustration with that fact, like feeling like it's 2025. We're the flying cars.
Yeah.
Like, why are we still
Right.
like at each other's
Right.
throats, over like simple, basic principles?
I believe it was like 2016, 2017, we're supposed to be having like hoverboards.
I was just going to say, where's the
we
Michael J.
had-
Fox hoverboards?
That's right.
We had hoverboards, but no, I want the Michael J. Fox ones that go on water.
Mattel, they look like they're
briefly.
made by Mattel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I want those. I was robbed.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of people feel robbed of a lot of things, and we wish we could wave a wand. And that's kind of what I love about movies is like, that's what I love about Spielberg too. And that's what I love about Carpenter is that like, they were really trying to peel back layers with their
ahead of their
movies.
time.
They really were. Like, but they knew how to do it in an entertaining way.
Yeah, and that's what you even highlight in your film. And again, I'm trying my best not to go into like spoilers, but like you talk about The Thing in the beginning and like how it barely got any views. And yeah, it was like that back then.
Yeah.
But now here it's this big renowned thing that like people reference all the time. They understand that yes, it technically is a remake from The Thing from Another World. Nobody gets that half the time. Sorry, that's the nerd in me coming.
It's all right, nerd.
Plus, Howard Hawks is a local here.
Yes, and he is
That's
a local
right.
here.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it ties back to Goshen.
That's right.
It all
just got
does in the
talented
end. It
fucking
just all
people
does in
here.
the end.
Yeah. Amen.
So like yeah, so it's cool that you highlighted that, and I feel like this film is really for the horror junkies. This is the film for the cellar dwellers. This is the film for people that understand what it's like to be that outcast and to be able to find themselves, because that's really what happens at the end, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I can't say anything.
And so I mean, I'll talk some so you don't blurt out everything.
Please do.
So for me, I'm proud of this film and even watching it. So why I say that is because for me, it's like when I see a good movie that I feel is done right, that has certain elements, little particular elements that I love, it really like earns my stamp of approval. And what I'm meaning is the sound effects on this spot on. I loved the, I would say score, but it's not always a score because it's effects as well too that are partnered in with that. So I love that aspect of it. I also loved the color out of spacey type element to it as well too.
Lovecraftian bits were
Yes.
awesome.
So for me, it's like we have a good movie, but then we also have the little quirks that I love. And 80s stuff I love because I was born in the 80s. But like for me, I like seeing a movie like this because it has those elements. It has the main elements, but it has my little quirks that I really dig too. I found myself at least 3 or 4 times being like, that effect is so good right there. Or like that ambient sound is so good right there. And that I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie that that people may not talk about or bring up, but that was one of the things that for me stood side by side with the kids acting. Like I think it was that good that it stands side by side with the kids acting.
If I may say, like the poster first off is fucking
incredible. Yeah.
Like it's very 80s film.
It looked like an old Megadeth
I feel
cover.
like if I could if I could pull that from the shelf, that's exactly what I'd see back in the 80s and 90s. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, we would have pulled it off of the VHS shelf
and be like, what the
it.
fuck is this?
Yeah, we would have watched it.
And then the other thing is too, like that shot. There's just this one shot that like sticks with me, and it doesn't give anything away, but it's just that shot with the rainbow effect over where the projection booth is.
In the beginning, beginning-ish.
And he's like kind of looking up, and I'm like, that is the experience of being a horror nerd, a movie nerd, whatever. That's the experience that encapsulates everybody that is part of the Riverbend Film Festival. It's that projection of the other world that you're about ready to go into. But it was so well depicted. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It was beautiful.
Oh, man.
Did you drop acid before you saw this movie?
No, but I should have.
Talk more. No, you guys, seriously, like I can't tell you how much this means because I haven't gotten to see it with a lot of audiences, obviously, and like your greatest hope with something like this is that it resonates with people, and it's so awesome to hear that it does. I mean, just to speak on some of them, all the effects are practical.
Thank you, God.
Yeah. Adam Doherty, who goes by the name Creature Kid, has him and his team. They operate out of Denver. The filmmaker had produced a film called Onyx the Fortuitous, Talisman of Souls.
I love him.
Right?
I love Onyx.
Yes, Bowser.
Oh my God.
So, Clark,
Hail Satan.
hailing Satan here in an alley in Goshen, Indiana.
Well, if you got Ivy and Mark involved, it's going to happen eventually.
So Clark and his producing partner Michael Mobley produced that movie with Bowser, and they worked with Adam on that show. And Adam did the creatures, those amazing creatures.
That's awesome.
So right from the beginning, when Clark, we were all on the same page with like, we have to, it's got to be practical, 100% practical. They were like, we've got a guy. Adam Doherty is extraordinary. He's extraordinary.
He's not related to Doherty that did Trick or Treat, is he? Michael Doherty?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I can't be totally sure.
I was gonna say,
but I don't think so.
We may have to Google and show notes that.
And then the other part of that is Clark. I mean, Clark, this is his first feature film.
That's
insane.
Nuts.
It really is.
I know he worked with Eric Andre.
Yeah.
For some time.
Yeah, Tim and Eric, and
and Tim and Eric, yeah.
To meet that dad.
His instincts.
Do the doo-doo.
Is like you can
Sorry, I love Tim and Eric. Dr. Steve Brule is the most brilliant comedic character ever created in the existence of humanity.
100%.
Sour as my daddy's lips.
Let's talk about that.
We talk horror. We talk comedy.
It's just we watch it all.
Yes, we are.
We are. Yes,
Hey.
we are. Would you like some partially eaten pizza?
Fuck.
Okay. All right. Well,
This place has amazing pizza.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yes,
And their wine list is really good.
Their beer's really good too.
I don't drink beer. I can't speak for that.
It's all right.
Their wine list is
The
amazing.
place is the bomb.
And their pizza is very good.
Fuck, so good. So good.
Did you? So good.
So good.
So good. So good.
So good.
I got you.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. So our podcast is Blood in the Cornfields, where we do horror, metal, and
Blood in the Cornfields. So
horror, metal, and true crime.
Example.
Yeah.
I'm a true crime junkie.
So we do it a little different though. We do it a little different. So you do sometimes. I select stories that can be told from the victim's perspective. So it really brings that person back to life, so to speak. So it continues to tell their story so that they're never forgotten. And we're not really about like glorifying the killers.
Fuck them.
Like Evan Peters and Jeffrey Dahmer and the new Gacy, or not Ed Gein that's coming out on my birthday, October 3rd. We're not about like glorifying that person. We're about, it's all right. You can heave it out.
For those who didn't know, Goshen has an active nightlife.
Oh no, it's okay. Nah, it's all right. I mean, he could even shit in the alleyway and I'm cool. But so we tell it from like the victim's perspective and really keeping like their memory going on because our podcast is based out of loss. I lost a best friend. She took care of him when he passed away and all that.
So
yada, yada, yada.
Oh,
No one is pooping in the alleyway, just so you know.
I don't think
you're
so.
good.
I don't know what's happening in the alley.
Always be a good person.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Go.
You're so
Now
sweet.
I'm gonna be a bad
See, see if they're done throwing up.
She literally brought us back to ET. She's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Be
That wasn't my friend.
Is it just a rando?
I don't know.
Oh.
Wasn't my friend.
All right. Well.
Wasn't my friend.
All right. Okay.
Cool.
Wow. All right.
Sweet.
Maybe we just helped someone out a little bit. Yeah.
Shit if I know.
That's awesome.
All right.
Love you.
Toodles.
Be safe.
So,
Oh shit, I remember.
yeah.
Do you remember where we were? I don't remember what we were talking about. I think I was talking about Clark Baker.
Yes, you were.
I think so, yeah.
Clark Baker,
Actually,
yeah.
do talk about Clark Baker because, like, he worked with Unis Honest of all people.
Yes, because
Honest.
I love that
I went
man.
into my
Yeah.
Steve Brule rant.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
brought us there. Yeah.
I love Unis Honest. Oh my god, the fact when he finally got the movie and I saw the thing for it.
Onyx.
Onyx, yeah.
Unis Honest was Markiplier.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
fuck.
Markiplier, right?
Yeah,
I was gonna say
oops.
Unis Honest. I think that's someone different.
Onyx. I meant
But we all
Onyx.
love Markiplier here too, right?
Well, yeah, I do love
Yeah,
it.
love Markiplier.
But I'll throw that back up. Okay, so when Onyx finally released his film, I was ecstatic. Me and my friend were just going on about it because it was the whole Hail Satan thing, and he is just so funny, and we followed his channel for years. And so when he finally got the actual ability to make a movie, we're like, oh my god, yes. I think I backed it. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't think I ever got the perk where like you could put your name in the credits. I was too poor then. So I never actually did that. But like I did try to back it, and so did my friends. So I think that's fucking cool.
Yeah, the
that,
movie
like,
turned
he
out
did that.
out great, and Clark and Michael Clark directed it. Michael's his producing partner, so I made the movie with Michael too. And the thing about what you were talking about, the complementary nature of the setups and the shot composition and everything, is that a lot of people can be inspired by filmmakers and can kind of describe how they want to do it. Clark executed it, but he also had his own vision. Like I think it was fascinating the way that he was able to. He wasn't trying to ape any of those filmmakers. It's his own style, but he the references were subtle and clever, and just his shot selection and his ability to bring those emotions out of those actors. That's a really delicate balance. And I'm just I'm really flabbergasted by this as a first film, and I can't wait for more people to see it because I think it really shows off.
Yeah, it's good.
Absolutely, it needs to be seen by more people. And do you know where it's at in that process at all?
No, we're screening it at Sitges in Spain, which is a big international marketplace.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
So I think that's gonna, we're gonna sort of, start spreading it around the world internationally there, and then see how that goes. We've talked to a lot of people here domestic. We've talked to some theatrical people. We've talked to some streamers, and it's just, sometimes you want it to be a faster dance than it is sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's a strange time in distribution right now too.
100%.
The economics kind of change every few months, and everybody's kind of trying to figure it out, and people want to build their libraries. So the nice thing is people really like the movie. We've got a lot of interest, and we just want to kind of find the best situation to get it on the most screens.
It is such a well-paced movie too.
Yeah.
Like it really is, and it takes you to a place at the very end where you don't expect it to be. But also at the same time, like if you're a horror nerd like us, it's like this is the shunting.
Ooh, yeah.
Society.
I know what you're
You've
talking
seen
about.
it. Yes.
Well, it's funny because we joked after we wrapped that the first movie was going to be called Test Screening. The second movie was going to be called Test Screening Premiere.
Ooh.
And then the third movie is going to be called Test Screening Release.
Okay.
I like that.
So
I like
with
that.
any luck, we'll be able to make 2 and 3.
That would be awesome.
So I do
That'd be
have
awesome.
a question for you, and like I said, I'm trying because I think the best way that you can go into this movie is don't know anything about it. Just know that this is fucking cool, and it's a throwback '80s thing. But like, what does water have to play in this? Like, what is the, for lack of a better term, what is the purpose of water? Why is that a big theme throughout?
Well, we were sort of trying to intellectualize how the thing that's at the center of the film would sort of drive people to a more biologically programmable place.
Okay.
And there's certain components of that. There's water is where a lot of life happens.
90, isn't it like 85% or 75% of us is made of water?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And most creatures in life, well, I guess you'd have to really break it down with someone who's a pro. But they reproduce in the water, and humans, we have our water internally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we sort of created a paradigm where, like a sperm meets an egg, and then it locks down. So like as soon as a man and a girl come together, suddenly they're together, and like find another, right? To sort of try to use gentle symbologies to sort of underscore how they were sort of being recoded and what they were being driven to do, because we didn't want to, we wanted to kind of limit the monologuing, the explanation of it. The inference, I think, is always part of the fun of stuff like this. So we just wanted to use, so water was one of the symbologies that we used.
And that's great because you see sometimes test screenings, you see Paranormal Activity apparently had an initial really good ending that it ended on in before Blumhouse got a hold of it. I'll shut up there. But anyway, before Blumhouse got a hold of it, it had this really awesome ending that was eventually, turned into a ghoul scare after the fact.
I was partial to the original ending.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that when you do, guys, when you get it to streaming, wherever it's going to be, God willing, soon, it won't have that cut in it, because this was literally the most perfect thing I could think of for this film.
Oh, the ending?
The way it ended,
the
way
absolutely.
that it was perfect. You didn't need to do anything else to it. It was just a great story. And I'm not saying this just to blow smoke up your ass.
Sure.
I'm just saying this was a perfect story. This was exactly what you wanted it to be. And if I may go on another tangent, where the hell did you find these sets? Because they are amazing, and they reminded me of my grandma's room from back in the 90s, but she still lived in the fucking 70s.
Yes.
These are great.
Well, we had an amazing production designer named Teresa Strebler, who works out of she lives in Cleveland, and I think Michael Mobley, the other producer, had worked with her before. She was great. I mean, she and her team just went super thrifting in Portland, which is a great place to go thrifting and to find a lot of crazy stuff.
Nice.
And she did an enormous amount. And the thing is, our schedule was so fast. I mean, you could tell we had a lot of locations. This wasn't like a movie where it's two locations. We had so many. So Teresa and her team had to go in a day before, dress a set, and then go from that and start dressing the set that we're going to use in the next day, and then the next day. It was this kind of constant churn, and they just nailed. Nothing looks like it was under service.
Oh, 100%.
She and her team were extraordinary.
I mean, yes, I didn't grow up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. However, you always had that interlap. There was always that interlap where, there were some things that were still stuck in the 70s and 80s. And, for example, the roller skating rink.
Yeah.
We had one in Warsaw that was basically stuck in the 70s, 80s era. It still had these Popeye and Bugs Bunny and stuff like that up on the wall, and it still had kind of that that weird groovy colors to it, it had
the shitty carpeting on the bench seating.
Yeah, 100%.
So the cool thing about that the diner and the roller rink, is we didn't touch it. All that stuff.
This exists?
Yes.
I need to visit.
I think the only thing that we did was we just made sure we didn't shoot the pricing menu, because it was very obviously modern.
Yeah.
But those booths, those lighting, I mean, we saw those and we're like, you got to be kidding me! It's a ready to film set.
Don't touch anything.
I mean, there were little tiny things, but it was mostly costuming and little dressings. But yeah, that diner is there. It's the Oak Park Rink in Portland.
That's awesome.
And you go there.
Yeah, and you go there, and it's we took out a .com off the wall. We just had little tiny things to do, but you walk in there and you're walking into the past. It was great.
Oh my God.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. Well, that was the other thing too, is we wanted to do people who were around in 1982 knew that it looked actually like the late 70s. Like a lot of towns couldn't afford the 80s. Like it wasn't all neon and cool shoes and swatches. Like people couldn't afford that in most parts of America.
100%.
Swatch guards,
That's if you're really rich.
That's if you're cool.
Exactly. That's if you're cool.
super fly.
100%.
So it was actually easier for us to like reproduce the late 70s than it was if we had kind of gone full 80s, you know? So doing a town that was still kind of stuck, you know? It's like watching Alien, you know? Alien looks like an old, old, does not look like the future. You know, that the Nostromo does not look like the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so true because I feel like in a lot of like recent films, not to knock on Stranger Things, because I know you're going to be working with the Duffer Brothers, I think, in the future. Is that right?
They don't have any plans to work with me just yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Well, you don't know what,
maybe
Clark,
I don't know what the
hell you're talking about.
No, the Duffers wrote they wrote the script that Clark made into a short film.
Okay,
in college.
maybe that's what I.
Okay.
That's what
and that's how Clark and I met.
All right, fair enough.
Maybe that's what I.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
they did open up
Sorry.
a new huge deal, I think,
All
at Paramount. So you know, maybe if they're looking for new projects.
So like that's the thing that I see with like a lot of like Stranger Things. It's like it's 80s, but it's like okay, but you forget there's 70s elements. There's things because some of these people could not afford to graduate into that. You know,
Totally,
like exactly like my grandparents' house, still stuck in this fucking 70s. It didn't have a chance to upgrade into the 90s when my mom graduated.
Yep. And that's one of the reasons we didn't do Needle Drops from that era. You know, I mean, we worked with an incredible composer, Austin Wintory, who does a lot of video games. Are you guys gamers?
I am.
Do you remember Journey?
My husband is, not me.
Journey, Austin Wintory won, I think, the first Grammy ever given to a video game score.
Oh.
He's just an incredible talent, and he does lots of video games, and he does lots of movies. And we talked about, I think we referenced Tron Legacy.
Oh my god!
And how Daft Punk did this really brilliant thing where they kind of married very, very overtly actual instruments, string instruments, and then juxtaposed it with full electronic instruments.
Sweet.
And we talked about that a lot and saying like we kind of want to do this journey where we start with analog, but then once the film takes hold, we want to sort of suggest that it's reprogramming them and start to introduce synths that are starting to combat the actualized instruments, because like we had a flute in that moment with the Kiss, and but then suddenly we're moving into electronics, and in the end it all synthesizes back down to a theme that is both, and it's live instruments that are kind of intertwining with synths. And Austin was like all over it. I mean, he's an incredible composer. Did a great job
That's
for us.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, kind of in review of things, like for me, I definitely love this film. I love it for a lot of reasons. It has good story, has good effects, has good ambience. It has so many different elements that I like. And I really, this gets my stamp of approval. I, was talking to you before we aired about if this comes on physical media. I definitely you don't have to tell me because I'm an adult. I'm an adult boy and I can Google, but I'll order that shit and I will let you know.
Thank
so
you.
I hope it goes to physical media. If not, I'm still going to stream it and show it with friends. I appreciate the movie. I love so many aspects of this. So, for me, it was really a treat, an enjoyment for me to watch it and then be able to kind of talk to you
100%.
about it and pick your brain a little bit. So I really appreciate you taking the time with us.
Thank you.
And sitting down with us. And I genuinely love and enjoyed the film.
Man, thank you. That means so much. That means so much. I mean, again, like you finish something like this and that's all you can hope for is that people like it, So I love that you liked it. It means a lot. And I'm fans of yours. So it's great to appear on the show.
Well, thank you.
It's so sweet. You're the Stephen Susco, and you're like a lowly Blood in the Cornfields podcast.
Oh my God,
thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And it was exciting, as it turns out, too. We had lots of fun interactions.
Yes, we had good interactions.
We did.
Yeah.
So we do have one simple request while we're on the podcast. Would you be willing to sign the films that you worked on?
Oh my God, yeah. Totally.
So thank you
Hell
so
yeah.
much.
Thank
you are
you
an
guys.
amazing person, and we really appreciate
you guys
so
are the best. You're so sweet.
Absolutely. We
Thank
appreciate
you so much
it.
for all the kind words about the film. We really appreciate it.
I guess with that being said, look out for each other and good night, cellar dwellers. Bye-bye.
Good
Don't
night,
throw up in
cellar
an alley and get
dwellers.
beat against the wall.
Bye-bye.